Hello and welcome back to Build Propulsion Lab at DevOps Belgium 2024. And my next two guests are George and Guillaume.
Hey,
welcome.
hey.
And your guys, by the T-shirt, by the hoodie, I figure out you work on Quarkus.
That is correct. Yes,
And
great guess.
Yes, that was easy. So DevOps has a lot of Quarkus content generally, right? So I think you are my third interviewees that are with the Quarkus team, and obviously there is also a lot of stuff to discuss.
Yeah, we've been lucky this year.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's obviously a great framework that contributes a lot for developer productivity, and this is all Build Propulsion is about, developer productivity. So very, very relevant for us here. We spoke a little bit about the new foundation, the new home for Quarkus. Mm-hmm. We spoke a little bit about Gradle Velocity being the acceleration tool that you are using. But let's talk about something else. You mentioned in your talk the GitHub automations that we can do using Quarkus.
Yes, so we have been working on GitHub automation for years now, mostly to automate things for the Quarkus project. And we started with a Probot bot, so the framework, the JavaScript framework and TypeScript framework that GitHub proposes to develop GitHub apps. And then we decided to try to do this with Quarkus. So we created an extension for that. So we have a Quarkus GitHub app extension, we have a Quarkus GitHub action extension. And you can develop your GitHub app with Quarkus, with very little boilerplate. And you can develop your GitHub action also with Quarkus, so in Java. And you have a lot of nice tools to develop everything you want.
I think one of the main, I wouldn't call it a problem, but it's definitely limitation of GitHub Actions and GitHub Apps is that they are assumed to be written in JavaScript.
I totally agree with that.
Right, and frankly, I'm not sure if we really want to write in JavaScript.
Some people do. I don't. But
Exactly.
it's a matter of taste. I know that for the Probot bot I did, for the small features we did first, it was fine. For the more complex ones, typically the build reporter that we are doing that analyzes Surefire reports and provide a full report of the build, it was a lot more involved, and being able to use the Java library to analyze the Surefire reports with a parser, rather than having to develop it in JavaScript was a lot, it was smoother. So it made a lot of sense for us to move to Java, and also to be able to have more contributors for our automation, because most of the Quarkus team know Java and Quarkus, so it helps with.
So we ended up with a nice side effect that now, thanks to your contribution, we can write GitHub apps and GitHub actions in Java in Quarkus.
Yes, that's correct. So basically, if you know how to program in any enterprise Java way, you can, with the API, you can easily build a bot. And that's what we tried to show today, how easy it is to do almost anything that the GitHub API allows. But then the knock-on effect of that is that now with all this AI stuff and how easy it is to consume, you can now even put intelligence inside your GitHub bots.
This is nice. What kind of intelligence? How can we leverage AI in our GitHub bots?
Right. So I'll first, Guillaume will tell us why you need it, and then we can explain a few things some examples.
You don't need a reason.
No, but that's the thing. We wanted the reasons. Yeah.
Yeah. So the first thing is that for a lot of tasks you want to automate, you don't need AI at all. You just need to do your thing, and typically we are setting the milestone automatically for merge pull request. You don't need AI for that. You just need to set the milestone, and that's it. And so the GitHub app thing makes it, the Quarkus GitHub app thing makes it really easy, because you just have to create a method with an annotation and to listen to an event, and then you're done. But at some point, you will hit some limits. Typically, we had some examples, or you have someone creating an issue in Japanese, and we don't know Japanese at all, and I could use a translator, but then people wouldn't be able to search for the issue. So this is the kind of thing that where AI can bring something, and we went through a lot of examples this morning where AI might make sense, and Georgios might add some more.
This is the Japanese issue. This is a wonderful example. So what do? You plug in some LLM through LangChain4j.
Exactly. So with Quarkus,
and then it will translate it and add an English
right.
translation as a comment.
Yeah, so you could do that, right? Okay, so yeah, with Quarkus we have amazing integration with LangChain4j, so it's super easy to consume, including inside GitHub bots. So one thing you could do is that you could like make it translate automatically and say, yeah, here's the translation. What we showed as an example was a little bit simpler, where we just detect if it's English and it's not English. We say sorry, but like all our users understand English, please reopen in English, right? So that's one example. Another example of something like you pretty much could not do without AI is sentiment analysis, right? Because occasionally, not often, luckily, but occasionally you have people like writing nasty things like, oh, you're paid to do open source, this should just work, like why do you write bugs in your code, you're terrible, or whatever. So we want to introduce like some kind of basic like moderation, right? So if we detect that a comment is inappropriate, we want like automatically the bot to say that, you know what, this is inappropriate, like please be nice, here are our conditions of how you should use it, things like that.
This is also very, very nice usage. Yep. Yeah, and basically then all you need to do is again plug in LangChain4j.
That's it. I mean, the whole way that the whole programmatic model fits together, it's seamless and it's familiar for enterprise developers.
This is brilliant. I really, really like it.
Yeah, and one last example we showed is that, you know, in GitHub you have these commands so you add a comment with a command, typically add depend about rebase, things like that. And so there are a lot of tasks that we do very regularly, typically point to the contributing guide, point to how to build Quarkus, to build a snapshot of Quarkus and test a pull request, things like that. And every time you have to figure out, oh, okay, what was the link again? And you have to go back to the link and then copy paste and things like that. So at some point I talked about, let's create a command bot which would, could say add bot explain, and you would have a couple of commands. The problem is that then you have to remember the commands, because the bot would be extremely picky, so you will have to go to a list of commands and then copy paste the command. And what the LLM provides is that you can actually develop a command-based bot, but which is fuzzy, because it will understand what you want to do. So you basically have a prompt saying, oh, if someone is asking about this, do that. If someone is asking about it, point it to this link, and things like that. And then when you are actually doing the command, you just say add bot explain and how to contribute to Quarkus, how to contribute to the project or whatever. And the LLM will understand what you are trying to do and will actually give you the proper information about what you want to do.
This is also brilliant. I love all those usages because they actually make sense and they are useful, and not just because, you know, I want to do something with AI.
Exactly. Don't use AI if it doesn't make sense.
Yeah. Now, the fuzzy bot command is brilliant, not only for GitHub bot, right? We see that a lot with a lot of those bots that are very, very strict in what they accept. You know what? Even voice assistants that we use, like Alexa and what's not, they're also very picky. And plugging in something that will make them fuzzy and make them understand human language better is actually a very, very good use case.
Yep.
Thank you.
George, Guillaume, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you very much for joining. It was a pleasure.
Pleasure's all ours.
And for all you folks, stay tuned for more episodes of Build Propulsion Lab at Devoxx Belgium 2024. There is much more